What's going on, guys? This is the One Man Army, Mr. Easy for Life, coming back with you guys with another Brave Frontier global video. I was about to say Japanese. Brave Frontier global video, and today I have for you guys a Terminus video. I'm going to be going through the Terminus Season 9. That's right, it just came out a couple days ago, and I think about a day or two ago, and I wanted to show you guys how I pretty much defeated Terminus. Now I want to give a huge shout out to Trey, because he is he gets all the credit for coming up with this this amazing squad. As you can see in front of you, I do not take any credit at all for coming up with this squad, but this is pretty much his way of doing it, and it worked out perfect for him, so I wanted to try it out myself. And so there we go. So this is pretty much the units that I got for you today. Like I said, Trey came up with the squad, and yeah. So here we go with the first round of Terminus. As you can see, that we're going up against a selfish god, and pretty much what you want to do in this battle is basically you want to play Simon Says. That's pretty much all you have to do, is because he's gonna give you up he's gonna give like these short, simple messages when you attack him, and you need to read them as quickly as possible, because they don't show up. It's not up there for 10 seconds right there. As you can see, it's up there for about a second. So you need to read those messages as quickly as possible, and you need to follow up with one he says. So pretty much he said, "How do I use items?" So I just use one item, and I just pretty much attack him. And when he likes it, he's gonna go ahead and heal you, give you some Brave Burst, I think, and there you go. As you can see right there. So pretty good stuff right there. It's not too hard. So, but basically, like, you need to know your knowledge before coming in here. I pretty much just watched Trey's video on how he did it, and I thought that was really amazing, very smart and clever for him to do that. And so coming into this dungeon, or this challenge, I should say, it's definitely recommended that you need to know how to go through this. How you need to know what the units in each round of the battles or waves or whatever of what they're gonna do. So because first time I did this, coming in here, I did not know. This is actually because the first time I failed horribly, because I didn't know what you needed to do with this selfish god. I just thought, okay, maybe I just throw a defense ignore. He was gonna be one of those guys, like that one crystal god, the crystal god, where all you really needed to do was put the defense ignore buff on him. I thought that's what you had to do with a selfish guy, but apparently you don't need to. All you need to do is play Simon Says with him on the first round, and then once you have your Brave Burst gauge filled up all the way, then just pretty much just go all out, do an all-out attack on him. And because he's also not gonna give you a chest of HC and BC, so you need to be very diligent with what your choices are during this first battle. It kind of determines the entire way, basically, because once you go up against the next round and you don't have all your Brave Bursts and Super Brave Bursts ready to go, it's gonna be a little bit tough. As you can see, I have the leader. The leader is Demo for this particular squad, and Demo is a very amazing unit. Now, if you don't have Demo, for some reasons of not being, like, if you're just starting out, then you could try and summon a unit called Lily Matter, or I guess basically Garnon or whatever. I guess any unit basically that gives you that increase in BB gauge when being attacked, or during spark damage or something like that. Now with the second battle here, we're going up against the couple, Captain Mega and Staya, and basically what you want to do here is it's not really anything in particular. You just want to do an all-out attack on them. Mega is going to do a defense mitigation near the end. Like, he's only going to be taking 1 damage. So it's kind of like an alter taunt or whatever. I don't really know. Either way, they're not really that hard. Just throw it, go ahead, get your Michelle attack buff up, use the elixir, and then just go ahead and do an all-out attack. Staya is going to die pretty fast, or after 2 turns. And Mega is going to go ahead and guard, or get pretty much a defense mitigation buff against any damage coming at him. So as you can see right here, I'm only gonna be doing 1 damage to Mega, but Staya only has, I think, an attack and defense buff on her. That's pretty much about it, if not just an attack buff. She's really easy to take care of. It's just Mega that's gonna be getting that defense buff or whatever. He's gonna tell you that you did pretty good in this battle, then he's gonna attack you one more time, and then with that last sliver of health, that defense mitigation is gonna go away, because it's only for 1 turn. Then you can pretty much just take out Mega right there. So pretty much, as that one last attack he's going to do, he's going to hit you as hard as he can, kind of, sort of. I have a defense mitigation because of Darwin Shell, and that helped out things a lot. So that last sliver health, you can just go ahead and normal attack him, as you can see right there. So normal attacks can definitely take him out, just like that. Alright, so, and the reason why I use auto battle after I use Michelle is because there's no really particular order. If you were wondering, you pretty much just need Michelle first for that attack buff, and then go ahead and use auto battle if you feel lazy like me and I didn't feel like swiping. Now with this battle, as you can see right here, there's not really much going on here, although you are going up against, I believe that's a lock. Let me see here. Yeah. Alright, so going up against Locke here, you can't, as Trey says before, if you've seen his video, he says that you cannot crit Locke, and I think he's kind of right, because, when I was doing the all-out attack here, Locke was actually the one that survived the most out of all of them. So I think you can only do spark damage on him, but I do know that the rest of the units, you can crit them, and they're pretty much easy to take care of. Now, if you remember in the last Brave Frontier, or the last season, Frontier Hunter or whatever, Locke does that, his piercing arrow or something like that, his super Brave Burst, he's going to do that again here. And that's pretty much, I think it only works if you leave him alone. Like, you don't necessarily single target him, I guess, or something like that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I only did research on one video about Terminus, and but I do know for sure that he is definitely going to use Super Bravers. So that's why Darvin Show comes into a huge play in this entire in this entire challenge. That damage mitigation is definitely something that you do need to have, and of course if you don't have them, Tesla works just fine too. The only downside to Tesla is just you're gonna be lacking in those 13 hits that Darvin Show gives, and so but either way, it's better safe than sorry. And now you want to have, as you could saw, or he's about to do it actually, I'm sorry, or no, he already did it. What am I saying? So that damage mitigation definitely helped, and you can see how much HP that he took out. That's about like, I think that's like 5 or 6k HP or whatever after everyone was about healed up or whatever, or it was basically more than half. You can definitely do the math and say that it was about 2/3 of your health. That's with the damage mitigation buff. Now if you don't have that, there is a good chance all your units are gonna die. So make sure you have a Darvin Shell, a Tesla, or anything like that that mitigates the damage. Coming up into the next battle, we have Melchio, Azel, and that last unit or whatever. I can't really. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Kushra. This battle, there's not really much going on here. I pretty much just used the elixir, and I put the attack buff on there, and just auto battled the entire way. They're just here for looks, They're the angels basically, or something like that. And that's pretty much about it. They're just angels. They're just there. And because I didn't see, when I was going through this, I didn't see any particularly special attack that they were going to be using against me that was going to be very severely a problem for me. I pretty much just took them out in 2 turns. Now they do actually single target my my Demo, which is actually kind of smart of them, because Demo is the weakest one out of all of them, and her being on the front lines, it was definitely, ooh, look at that, it was definitely very severely, it was definitely risky is what I'm trying to say. Very risky indeed to have her on the front lines, but she survived. She definitely survived thanks to her being a guardian. Her having a lot of a defense or whatever. I threw a leg 1 gem on her, so her defense is actually in the 2Ks area. But either way, if you have this squad, you can take out this battle, or you take out these 3 units in just 2 turns, as you can see right here. They're all gonna go right there, defeated. All right, so there you go. And back to Super Brave all the way healed up. They're going to drop a chest for you. Now the next battle, I was getting kind of scared because I left it on auto battle, because the next battle, you're going to be going up against Mare. That's right, Mare. And she has a very specific attack. Now the first turn, luckily, does not matter. So I got really scared because like, oh my gosh, I left that on auto battle. That's going to screw me up. Although Michelle didn't go first, because auto battle never goes in the order you want it to go most of the time, it doesn't really matter. You're going to take her out basically at the lowest of the low of her HP, mostly just a last sliver of health. Now what she's going to do here is she's going to put a defense mitigation buff just like Mega, and she's going to do a Super Brave Burst that's similar to Locke's, and she's going to take out majority of your health. So what I did here was pretty much exactly what Trey did, is I put on that defense mitigation buff from Darvin, and I guarded everyone else, and as you can see how much HP she takes out. But other than that, that's pretty much the only special attack that she's got. After that, her defense mitigation buff goes away. You can go ahead and normal attack her, and she's out for the count. Alright, and that's pretty much Mare's battle. Pretty much. The first turn doesn't necessarily matter, but the second turn, you want to put up a defense buff and have your units healed up all the way as much as they can. Coming into the final battle, we have a Sodas and Farlan, which is pretty funny to me because these two actually hate each other. If you read the lore. And basically this one doesn't really, it's not really special. Just like the Angels battle or whatever I like to call it, this one isn't really too much of a, too hard to go through. So Farlan he's pretty much a glass cannon, Farlan's always been a glass cannon, and that's what he's gonna be in in this this battle right here. He's gonna go down in about 2 hits. Although my main man, or one of my favorite light units, Sodus, he is actually really tanky. You know, I'm not gonna lie, he is a full-on tank. As you can see right here, as you can see right there, Farland, I looked on Farland to see if he was gonna be out soon. I was like, yep, all right, so he's going down. But Sodus, it took me about, I want to say he kind of messed up the rhythm, because I had to use some of my Brave Burst to take him out because he was so tanky. It took me like 3 turns to take out, 3 or 4 turns to take out Sodus because he was really tanky. Luckily, I did not have to worry about Farland in the sense, because he was a glass cannon, so he was out after the 2nd turn. And Sodus, like I said, he's really tanky, so pretty much just, you're going to want to use an all-out attack on him if you want to get the job done quickly. He's going to have an attack and defense buff just like Farland, I'm pretty sure. Another thing that I should caution you about is that you want to check if your units has injury on you, because you don't want to have that. You know, I can't remember which battles give you injury, but you want to check out if your units, any of your units have injuries. So you want to take out, you want to, you know, pretty much heal up that debuff on you. Either way, other than that, this battle pretty much it's pretty easy, you know, honestly. Like, once you take out Farland, you don't have to worry about getting hit really hard. And Sodus, you just gotta go and do that all-out attack and pretty much just get him out, because he's really tanky. So there you go. So not too much trouble, but not it's not too easy, but it's not too hard either. You know, it's like right in the middle, like, you know, so average battle or whatever. And so coming into the last and final battle, this is pretty surprising to me. We have one of the most popular units out there that everybody loves, the 99.9% perfect unit, Zell Knight, Head Thief Zell Knight, or whatever, Thief Zell Knight. And pretty much he isn't that hard at all. I was really surprised on why they chose him as a boss. As you can see right here, I didn't use any Super Brave Burst because of Sodus. He kind of messed up the rhythm, and I had to wait until all my my Super Brave Bursts was up. Well, that's the judgment call that I made. He doesn't do too much damage, but as you can see, without the damage mitigation, he takes about a good chunk. That's a good chunk right there on Demo, but then again, Demo is only a 5-star. So I went ahead and healed her up, and I went ahead and just used the correct order that I usually do it in. Michelle first, auto battle the rest. You know, it's pretty much all it is. Now, having that defense mitigation buff is definitely going to help us a lot, because after you mitigate his damage, the only damage he's going to be doing against you is pretty much like a regular questing Agnite region boss or whatever like that, you know, like he is not going to be doing any damage to you whatsoever after you have that defense buff and the defense or the damage mitigation buff on you. His damage is really weak at that point, and pretty much all you have to do next is just take him out. I didn't see any damage or any special move that he was going to be using on me. I did see some dialogue, and the fact that he did say a parenthesis warning, so maybe that could have been something that he was about to unleash, but luckily I took him out before he did that. As you'll see over here, I'm going to go ahead and do an all-out attack once again, or somewhat of an attack. I didn't feel like waiting for my Brave Burst because I wanted it to play it really safe and sound, so I didn't want to just do a normal attack. If the Brave Burst was up, I was going to use it. Now, if you can see over here, he's about to do it, or he's about to say warning, or something like that, something in the parentheses. It made me kind of scared. As you can see right there, it made me kind of scared there, thinking that he was going to unleash something really incredible in the next turn. So I thought, alright, you know what I was going to do? I was going to, since I don't have my damage mitigation up, I'm going to go ahead and use a Fujin on Darwin, get that 13 hits and the defense buff, just in case we don't take him out in this next turn, and pretty much just do an all-out attack once again. And I got pretty lucky. Because that's about it. Zell Knight went down for the count, and I believe the final score that we got after all of this is about 1.4 million. With all the score bonuses up, tallied and all that, we got about 1.4 million. Noting that the leg 1 gem only takes about 1.3 mil to get it, you know, to receive it. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. That was the Terminus challenge. Hopefully this helped you out. Credits goes to Trey once again for coming up with this wonderful squad. It was definitely very clever indeed, coming up with the having Demo as the leader. Very creative indeed, using a dungeon unit as a leader. I've never seen that before, or I haven't seen that in a long time. And there we go, triple S. And I'm going to show you the rewards, because actually this is actually the first time that I actually completed it. So obviously you're going to get a couple Zell, get a couple Karma, and here's your rewards. You get some Burst Frogs, you get some Spheres right here, Zell of course, you get some more Spheres, rare Epic Spheres, Gems, definitely a wonderful thing to have gems, some more Sphere Frog, or not Sphere Frogs, but Burst Frogs, I'm sorry, and then you're going to go ahead and get your full Imps, 2 of each Imp, very amazing. And it's going to go ahead and close it off with the leg 1 gem, as you can see right there, for 1.3. So this strategy, as Trey stated before, is not something that to get a lot of points in and to get your hunter rank up, but if it's for something that you want to do to complete it, get all the rewards, this is definitely the units to have right here. I did replace some of the units in the fact that Trey actually used Elza, but I actually used Zelha instead. Now, as you can see right here, these are the spheres that my units have. The Brave Bursters or Super Brave Bursters are all awakened except for Demo. But that's pretty much the stats. As you can see right here, I'm just going to show you all my stats I got here. And some of them aren't even Sphere Frogged. As you can see, only Darwin Show was Sphere Frogged, and the rest had about Medullas and Leg 1 gems right there, as you can see right there. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Like I said, shout out to Trey for coming out with this amazing strategy and technique, and hopefully you guys, you yourselves, can get that Leg 1 gem, and you can, you know, if you really want to, keep using this strategy. If you want to get your hunter rank up as quickly as possible, go ahead and use this. This strategy if you got the units for it. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and as always, this has been the One Man Army, Mr. Easy for Life. And I hope you all are having a very easy day. See you in the next Brave Frontier video to come your way. And I'm out. Peace.